It's just another morning in Madrid. Everyone is busy doing their own thing. Sergio, a salesman, is on the phone trying to sell products. Israel, a homeless man, is getting kicked out by the cops again. Trini, a gambler, heads to the store to buy alcohol on credit. Then there's Elena, chatting excitedly on her phone. She's got a big date tonight with a guy she met online. Suddenly, her phone dies. Elena ducks into a small bar, orders a coffee, and asks the waiter, "Solder for a charger." Right after she walks in, a man rushes inside, coughing badly. He heads straight for the bathroom. The owner, Amparo, rolls her eyes. Great. Another freeloader using the restroom without buying anything. Then Israel barges in. He knows Amparo will give him free food. He starts screaming Bible verses at the top of his lungs, driving everyone crazy, including the bank clerks, the cleaners, and an ex-cop named Andres. The only one who doesn't care is Nacho, who is completely lost in his own world with his headphones on. Sergio and Trini walk in too. Trini can't take her eyes off the slot machine, ready to spend her last bit of cash on it. While everyone is distracted, one of the bank clerks gets fed up and walks out of the bar. The second he steps outside, bang. A gunshot rings out. He gets shot right in the head. People in the street run for their lives, and the bar turns into complete chaos. Only Nacho is still clueless because he didn't hear the shot at all. The group realizes their phones have no signal. They can't even call 911. The cleaner decides to brave it and peeks outside, but he gets shot too. The air turns ice cold. Israel just laughs and keeps preaching. God is testing us. The others panic and throw themselves on the floor just in case. Israel wants to leave since he has church today. Amparo quickly tries to keep him inside. "Don't go out there, stay and I'll give you some food." Trini grabs the remote and turns on the TV. The group is shocked. The news channels aren't reporting anything. 2 people shot dead in broad daylight in the middle of Madrid, and total silence. Something is very wrong. Then comes the most disturbing part. Trini looks out the window, and the bodies are gone. Even the blood has been completely cleaned up. The more they think about it, the more they panic. Someone says it's a dream. Someone says it's aliens. Others think it's a government cover-up. Sergio breaks it down. What if the police are the ones shooting? Maybe they got a tip about someone dangerous and they're just killing everyone in sight. It sounds like the most logical guess. As they argue, Nacho tries to hide his bag but gets caught. Everyone thinks he's a terrorist and grabs the bag. It's just clothes and hard drives. Nacho yells, "They're just work files." In a fit of rage, Elena stomps the hard drives into pieces, calling them all paranoid idiots. Nacho snaps back and points at Sergio's suitcase. They pop it open. It's packed with women's underwear. Turns out he's just an underwear salesman. Then a strange noise comes from the bathroom. They remember the sick man is still in there. The door is locked, so Andres shoots it open. The man is slumped over the toilet, ears bleeding, with a strange syringe next to him. Before they can react, a loud rumble comes from outside. A truck pulls up and soldiers in gas masks jump out. They ignore the screams for help and start piling tires outside the bar, then set them on fire. Black smoke fills the air. The news immediately reports a fire in downtown Madrid. The group finally understands. The government is covering this up. Suddenly, the sick man stands up, gasps out his last words, "Don't touch me," and drops dead. Nacho checks the man's phone and finds photos of military missions in Africa and soldiers in hazmat suits. It hits them all at once. That man brought a deadly virus back home. They're all infected. Panic takes over completely. Israel starts praying loudly. Elena and Nacho scramble to find a signal. Nacho finally gets through by standing on a chair, but Solder grabs the phone and screams for help so wildly that the operator thinks it's a prank and hangs up. The 2 of them fall during the struggle, and Trini accidentally hits the slot machine. Ding, ding, ding. She hits the jackpot. Coins spill everywhere while Israel keeps praying and scooping up the money. Amparo completely loses it, screaming, "Don't touch that phone. It belonged to the dead guy." Andres and Sergio agree, thinking they need to be careful, so they run and hide with Amparo behind the counter. Then Andres forces the others, the ones he thinks are infected, down into the cellar. They have no choice but to go. Israel stays calm, grabbing 2 bottles of wine and drinking his way down. In the dark, dirty storage room, the group tries to pass the time with small talk. But Trini is terrified of small spaces and starts to fall apart. She charges up the stairs and bangs on the door, but it won't open. In the chaos, she knocks over a few bottles. They shatter everywhere, but strangely, there's no puddle on the floor. Nacho has an idea. There must be a drain down here. They find it and pop it open. The hole isn't that deep. Israel volunteers to go down and scout the way. He strips naked, covers himself in oil to stay slippery, and slides into the sewer opening. Everyone pushes hard, but the hole is too narrow. Israel gets stuck at the waist and can't move at all. Just then, gunshots ring out upstairs. Someone bursts into the bar and shoots Amparo, Andres, and Sergio dead. Then the air turns burning hot and smoke seeps through the cracks of the door. They are torching the entire bar to destroy any trace of the virus. Terrified, Elena, Nacho, and Solder pull on Israel with everything they have, hoping to get fresh air from the sewer below. Trini completely loses control and lunges for the door, burning her hands badly on the hot metal. They wrap her wounds in oil and toilet paper while they wait for the fire to burn out. Once things go quiet, Nacho uses a broom handle to nudge the door open. The bar is a burnt ruin, and even the bodies have disappeared. The entrance is sealed off with plastic sheets by government agents, making it impossible for anyone outside to see in. They step out to catch their breath. Nacho spots Andres' gun on the floor and picks it up, wincing as the hot metal burns his skin. Trini wants to run for help, but Nacho stops her. "If you go out there, you're dead." Nacho tries to calm everyone down. "We're not sick yet. Let's stay low for a few days. There's plenty of food and drinks in the storage room." But before he can even finish, a ringtone makes them all jump. It's the dead man's phone, and notifications are popping up like crazy. Elena checks it and finds out the man had a fever for days and was being followed. He only ducked into the bar to use the bathroom, and that syringe, it contains a stolen experimental treatment. He was already too far gone to be saved, but nobody in the group has shown any symptoms yet. So there's still a chance it could work for them. Just as they're deciding what to do, the phone rings again. Nacho worries it's a trap and hesitates too long. The phone dies. Solder scrambles to find a charger. Then Elena remembers something from a text. There are 4 doses left. They search the body but find nothing, so they run to the bathroom. Israel beats them there and finds the box of small bottles. He starts singing because for once, he's the one holding all the power. 4 shots, 5 people. Now what? Before anyone can talk it through, Israel injects himself. He screams, "Hallelujah! God is on my side!" Nacho pulls the gun, but Elena stops him. "If you shoot, they'll hear us outside." Instead, Nacho tackles Israel and a nasty fight breaks out. Israel manages to grab the gun and shoves Nacho back, sending the box of bottles tumbling straight down the hole into the storage room below. Trini tries to grab it with her bandaged hands, but fumbles, and the whole box slides into the sewer. Now the only person small enough to fit through the opening is Elena. She strips down, covers herself in oil, and squeezes into the tiny hole. Her legs get scraped badly as they push her through, until splash. She hits the sewage water below. She finds the box quickly, but she refuses to tie it to the rope and send it up. She tells them coldly, "You'll use them all and leave nothing for me. If you want to talk, come down here." With that, she hides the bottles in a crack in the wall and walks deeper into the dark tunnel. The group uses a pipe to make the hole bigger. Outside, police and soldiers still have the entire area locked down, busy removing the bodies from the bar. Meanwhile, Elena makes her way back to the opening. She finds the others trying to help Trini climb down, but Trini kicks wildly and drags everyone down into the sewer water. Solder and Trini manage to climb out, but Nacho goes after Israel to take the gun back. A brutal fight breaks out in the filthy water, followed by a few muffled gunshots. Finally, Nacho comes out on top. He climbs out gasping and says, "Israel shot first. After I took the gun, he fell into the water and drowned." But Nacho is growing more aggressive and unstable by the second. Everyone starts to wonder, did he actually just murder Israel? Elena has had enough. She says coldly, "You want the treatment? Then drop the gun." Nacho refuses and threatens Solder instead. So Elena leads them to the wall where she hid the bottles. On the way, Trini quietly pulls out her bag of coins and drops them one by one as she walks, marking a trail so they can find their way back. Once they enter a pitch-black tunnel, Trini suddenly shrieks that Solder pushed her, but she's actually the one doing the pushing. As he slips into the water, she pretends to help, then shoves his head under and holds it there. Nacho fires a shot at the wall to light up the dark. He's horrified by what he sees and dives in to save Solder. After pulling him out, they move toward a lit tunnel, with the gun still pointed at Trini. But Nacho still can't bring himself to pull the trigger. Trini breaks down in tears and whispers, "I don't like people watching me." She grabs the gun, walks around the corner, and bang. Everyone freezes in shock. The 3 remaining survivors push forward and finally find the box of treatments. They're just about to divide them up when they hear the sound of coins clinking. They look back and see Trini's body propped against the wall, 2 coins resting over her eyes. But it's a trap. Before they can even process it, Israel appears out of nowhere. He attacks from behind and stabs Solder, killing him instantly. Elena and Nacho run for their lives. They race through the dark tunnels until they finally spot a ladder leading to the surface. They scramble up, but Elena slips and drops the treatments. At the same moment, Israel grabs Nacho's leg. Realizing there's no way out, Nacho shoves his dose into Elena's hand. He lets go of the ladder, and both men fall into the darkness together. Tears pour down Elena's face as she injects the treatment into her arm with shaking hands. She pushes the manhole cover open with everything she has left, and finally crawls out into the light. The sunlight is blinding. She's made it. She's outside the locked-down zone. People on the street stare at her in complete shock. She's covered in dirt and blood. Her eyes completely empty. Someone asks if she's okay. Another person drapes a coat over her shoulders. But Elena doesn't hear a single word. Dazed and numb, she wanders through the crowd. And the person she walks right past is the guy she was supposed to go on a date with tonight. He calls out her name. She doesn't look back. She just keeps walking into the distance, like someone who escaped hell but can never truly find their way back. The movie end. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.